Was it not Nord? Yes. Da-da-da-da-da. Love me. A lot of trouble first thing in the morning. Oh my god, it's a critical security alert. Activity. Blah blah blah. It's fucking fine ass. Whoa. Ain't nothing here. It's weird. It says the bitrate is at like 5,000 pretty much, which is good, but then OBS is giving me a red warning. I'm like, the hell? What am I supposed to glean from this? Nord just like complicating everything. Do I need to sign out of Nord here as well? I ain't giving you fucking 5 stars until you make my life easier, man. Go up already. What's going on? Closing this. Closing everything. Nobody's even watching. It doesn't matter. My data on cool. You're not being helpful. Let me the fuck in, asshole. Gotta move my thing down. Yes. Verify that it's me because it is me. Signed out for my protection. That's awesome. Unnecessary though. Nope. There is no malware. You have gone insane. Somebody failed to. Yeah, because it didn't fucking work. All right. You didn't provide enough info. Are it possible? All right. Go send it to my phone again, man. Oh my god. Okay. Google did not send me shit, man. Resend it? Go on. I need to reset my phone. Oh, man. My day's alright. If my connection is holding up okay, that's nice. But I'm trying to sign back into my account, and just everything is fucking up. Unprotected. I don't care. get to hear a jaunty tune while my while I try and recover my YouTube account. I wasn't expecting like all this nonsense to happen first thing in the morning, but hey, whatever. Yeah. I'll keep the stream going for now just to see if like my internet improves. It says it's like in the red, but I literally can't even check because I can't log into my account because Google has locked me out. What the shit? I don't even know why Google locked me out. I assume it's because I recently switched to NordVPN, which is slowly becoming the biggest mistake of my life. Because as soon as I did that, all this nonsense started happening. Am I logged into Nord once again? See, I figured Nord would just be like a normal app that would help. Maybe it's not Nord's fault, but yeah, I'm straight up not getting anything. Wow. Am I just not gonna be able to log into my account ever again? Oh, I guess I can go on my phone. That's pretty good. That's true. The stream looks perfectly fine. Okay. Yeah, the stream looks perfectly fine. I don't know. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think. That it's telling me red. It's giving me like a little marker like, oh my gosh, it's in the red. You're about to die. But I guess not? No, let's try another way. I'm private enough info to make sure the account is really yours, please. Google asks for this info to keep your account secure. Da-da-da. Yeah. Oh, okay. Let me do those things. Oh my god. I guess, do I just have to deal with this later? It said try again in like a few hours? Goodness sake. Google, I know you're all run by morons, but like, I didn't know it was this dire. See, your first mistake was when I tell you, hey, here's my phone number, send me a code. The first thing you want to do is you want to send me the code because I do have my phone. It's right here. This is a phone that I bought like 10 years ago and it still works. Works perfectly fine. I've been taking very good care of it. There isn't even a crack on it. So, if you are so inclined, I would accept the message once you send it to me. But the key here is that you have to send it to me. You have to actually send it to me for this operation to work. Oh well. Let's just do what I said I was gonna do. Let's just work on this for a little bit. Was that? Nope, don't save that. Good, okay. We'll maybe save one thing. So hello, if my stream is still alive and doing good, then great. If not, I don't know what to think. But yeah, this is a comic that I'm now working on. A new one, different from the other one that I was working on. It's called World's a Stage, or The World's a Stage, excuse me. Based on a TTRPG campaign that I did with a group of friends. What's funny is the big muscly himbo was not played by me. That was actually played by my twink boyfriend. And this Twinkazoid Samurai, that's my character. This is my friend Amber, who maybe some of you know from
many like collaborations I've done with Hammer Greystoke over the years. And then we have a third character who doesn't appear until later in the story. So, yeah. You know, I've been having a gay old time adapting that campaign into a webcomic. I feel like it's the type of thing where you kind of hear about this a lot. Like, there's quite a few comics that I voiced for in the past that describe themselves as like, oh yeah, we're taking a D&D campaign and we're making it into a story. I've definitely heard that before. I've heard it and it sort of sounds like a little tropey, sure. I feel like you could only really do that if you know for a fact it's a good story. And that is where I'm at with The World's a Stage. Because I play a lot of D&D campaigns. So I have plenty of stories to like cherry pick from and be like, you know, oh, I could adapt this one. I could adapt this one. But a lot of the ones that I'm a part of, because D&D is just kind of like this, they sort of trail off. They don't really amount to much, which is a shame. And because, you know, there's a lot of really great story potential. And then you have stuff like Critical Role, where one of, or I guess you'd say two of their campaigns have been adapted into a TV show called Vox Machina. Which is like fucking amazing and fantastic. Like awesome for them. So clearly there is an audience for this kind of stuff. Clearly there's, you know, a sort of people that enjoy this kind of content. As in like D&D campaigns. The thing that I think of though when I'm making this, like all that being said, the way I look at this is a fantasy story. Like a sort of pseudo-medieval fantasy story. The fact that it was based on a D&D campaign is sort of secondary. Like there's never a moment where I acknowledge that it's based on D&D. There's never a moment where we talk about dice or about like making specific decisions. Which Vox Machina is a bit like that as well. Check out that show if you ever get the chance to, because it's pretty good. It was surprisingly pretty good. First season is a little First season I don't feel like they quite had their footing, let's say. But the second season, oh boy, oh that really got me. That one was an absolute banger, let me tell you. Where are the frames? Where are the frames? Not like frames in animation. I mean frames like comic panel frames. There you are. Yeah, it still says red. That's so damn weird. You know what? In the next couple minutes, I think I'll try signing it again. There's literally no reason why when I tried to apply for the code, it didn't work. For anyone that's like a little confused, like what the hell I was doing earlier, my computer was like kind of fucking up as soon as I started the stream, which is always how this shit goes, all the goddamn fucking time. Like, and as soon as I started this stream, for those that are unfamiliar with OBS, you get a little thing on the bottom right that tells you how the stream is going. Like, you know, oh, what's the bit rate? What's like, you know, the quality of the stream. And usually they will have like a number of bit rate that goes out, which improves the video and I think the audio quality too. And if you have a high bit rate, then awesome, wonderful, perfect, you're doing great. If you have a low bit rate though, then none of that information gets through and it looks like a garbage stream. And it basically like no point in watching, like you can't even fathom what's going on. So, that being said, as soon as I turned it on, it went from green to yellow to red very quickly. I assume this is because I recently got off of ExpressVPN and hopped onto Nord for personal reasons. And I figure like, oh gosh, I picked Nord and now it's like fucking up my internet. Oh god, this is a huge mistake. But then I turned it off and I reset the stream like a couple of times, and no matter what, I kept getting red. So I'm like, what the fuck? Why is my internet just fucking up? Like, come on guys, come on. So I think just because my internet turned off and on sporadically as I was trying to sort out this like Nord nonsense, I was also signed in to like my YouTube studio. And so I think all this like internet monkey business just suddenly made Google freak out and think that I was like a terrorist or something. And so they automatically signed me out, which is, you know, that much is fine. That's security. You know, maybe if a terrorist did show up and tried to hack my YouTube channel, they could post their like Roblox nonsense on there. If that was happening, I would want YouTube to delete them and send them to prison. But don't send me to prison because I'm trying to sign it, right? And yeah, anyway, so I tried to sign in the, you know, fairly simple way that they give you to sign in. And it says, great, Allah, sick, we will send you a code. We'll send it to your phone. I'm like, great. And then it never came. Fuck's sake. I'm just over here like, dude, I can't do anything if you don't send me the fucking code, you idiot. And so I'm just sitting over here, thumb up my ass, like, waiting for a code to send. It's the most infuriating thing when technology doesn't work, right? Like, you can't get shit done if technology just doesn't work. And it's the type of thing that is so, it's just so frustrating, more frustrating than anything else in the world, because technology is sort of nebulous. It's like you're sort of feeling around in the dark when technology starts breaking down. You're trying to figure out like what happened, what went wrong. It's the sort of thing that reminds me that I would probably be absolutely dog shit as a programmer. I've done like a little programming in my life. Certainly not enough to justify me making a video game ever. And just shit like this makes me feel like I would hate every step of the way. Because video gaming is all about sorting out mistakes made on a computer. Like, you'll be making this awesome game about like a cool platformer where you play as an anime babe and you're looking for like, you know, pizzas or whatever. Pizza anime delivery boy. And you're so fixated on like the artistry, but the graphics keep fucking up every time you pick up the pizza, and then you just spend like a week or 2 weeks of your life trying to circumnavigate this weird pizza glitch until eventually you decide, okay, the game isn't even about like collecting pizza anymore, because for some reason when I put a pizza in this fucking game, it crashes the second I pick it up. So whatever, now this is a game about collecting fucking ham. And then the ham works, and you just sit there forever like, why does the ham work, but the pizza doesn't? And then you decide to go crazy. You decide to take the ham and you put it on the pizza. You know, like pizza with ham slices on it. Something that I've never heard of in my life, and I hope never exists, because that just sounds like... You might as well just put like dog shit on the pizza. Like that's an awful combination. But you put the ham on the pizza, and then you go into the game and you go to pick it up, and guess what happens? Boom. The SWAT team kicks down your door. Now you're in prison for like 25 years. Why did that even happen? Why did that happen? You'll never know. You'll never know, because I'm so shit at technology. When shit breaks, I'm just at its mercy. It can do whatever the fuck, and I can't stop it, because I'm like, I need this. I need technology in my life. You know when people joke and they say like, oh man, you're a slave to technology. It's pretty fucking real, honestly. It's pretty goddamn real. Like, I rely on technology for most things. It might as well be like a heart in my chest beating to keep me alive every day. Oh, wait, I remember why I fixated on this shot earlier. It's because she's missing her choker. Yeah. So this character, Theta, has like this African-styled neck choker? I don't know what you call this. I've just been calling it a choker. Probably a more elegant name for it, but that's just what I've been calling it. And it looks good. It's a cool design, but that was my friend Amer's idea, not mine. I'm just looking at it like, this looks neat, and it looks good on her and everything, so I'm not going to complain or change it or anything, but it's so, like, it just makes me think, like, African design. And this woman is the palest bitch you've ever seen. So, like, it almost feels wrong. But I guess fashion is fashion, you know? Also, the necklace. I consistently forget the necklace. Something that I need to keep reminding myself is is that character design is very, very extensive. It's like probably one of the most extensive things ever. A character's design will be made up of like a million little moving parts. It's sort of like what I was saying about coding, where you're working to where you're just trying to get like a scene done, and then you consistently forget, oh right, this bitch has like a choker and I've not put it in for like 10 panels. Great. But then again, that's also just that like attention to detail thing. I think when you're creating literally anything at all, you need to have an obsessive eye for detail. Unless perhaps you're going for a more like scratchy, improvisational look. I guess I've seen stuff like that before. Usually I see that stuff paired with more like memey, funny content, so that if it looks kind of rough or raw, you can just lean on like, oh, it's just a joke, guys. In my case, though, I mean, I'm trying to make a legit, clean-looking comic, so I always want to have, like, a nice eye for detail. I want when people look at it for people to think, like, you know, oh, this is like a great professional-looking comic, you know? Something about, the aesthetic that I'm going for is I'm trying to avoid coloring as much as possible. Because coloring, I get very obsessive over. And it will, like, put me out for probably days at a time per design. And there's a lot of, like, little moving parts. Like, if I'm going to color someone, I also want to light them. And what if, like, the lighting is different in one scene to another? Then I gotta sit there and deliberate about what's like this color if I'm going in a cave? What's this color if they're feeling, like, envious or, like, angry or blah, blah, blah? Or, like, should I go too stylish? Etc., etc. So instead, I'll show you here. Instead, what I've been going for is a manga style. This is the first page. It's completely done, and now it's up on Webtoon. But I'm very, very happy with how this turned out. Adopting a manga style is really nice because basically you're just using one flat texture like this, and then just picking select areas to put it. Like, you know, this part of the Shakusho shirt is a little bit darker than the rest of them. The mask is definitely darker than both. And then shading for the skin, you know? You don't want to go too crazy with all these shades, make them like a million different shades, because it honestly doesn't matter. What people are looking for is black and white, with some subtle differences in shading. This one's darker than that one. But yeah. This amount of effort takes like a little bit of time and a lot of experience in shading, but it doesn't take nearly as long as if I were to color absolutely everything. So yeah, saves me so much time, and I think it still looks great. So yeah. This happy little family. I designed them very, very quickly. The sketch for this was like just this simple ass like stick figure bullshit. And I I got to the part where I was actually sketching and lining them out, and I'm like, shit, I forgot to design these guys. I sketched this bullshit sketch like a month ago, and I never actually had a design for them. So I hastily went on Pinterest, which is a great place to go if you're looking for inspiration for fashion, namely. And yeah, I went on there, I looked up like hairs, I looked up clothes, all that stuff. And I found exactly what I was looking for. It took me probably like an hour and a half to get everything done, but it was worth it because I think they look cute. I think both these guys look cute. They're relevant later in the story too, which is why I want them to look, you know, somewhat good. Okay. You know, and I think for now, unblue. Looks just a little more normal. Yeah, so what I'm doing here is I'm taking the pages, like the paper pages. These are just literal sketches that I did. In fact, actually, if you zoom in right there, I think that's a section of my table or something. Kind of fuzzed out. I just took a picture of this with my phone after sketching it. The system I would get into would be my boyfriend would be playing like Persona 5 late at night, and then I would just sit there and crack out pages while he would play. It was a fun system. It's a shame that, you know, my boy is gone now. I miss him so much, but it's, you know, it's all right. That's just how the cookie crumbles. Right now, he's off at college. He's going to college for animation. So this kind of stuff is very meaningful to him, and I can respect that. But yeah, now I need to come up with a new system for sketching. I remember this. This shot was a little weird looking when I sketched it because I wanted to put it in a 3D model. Yes. There's some poses. There are some poses that you look at and you just go, I have no clue how to do this. Give me a 3D model. I can't deal with this shit because this angle that I'm thinking of, that I'm looking for, is completely different from anything that I've ever drawn before. I can't fucking do this. There's just like so many moving parts going on. It's really valuable that you know 3D to some extent. I've been experimenting more and more with Blender as of late. Blender's a very, very useful software, even if all you're doing is 2D, because making a 3D model of like any environment, so helpful, unescapably helpful. I gotta curve you backwards. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Okay, good. I wanted like a looking down kind of POV. Because this opening scene is about our titular character, Theta. Looking for a place to stay for the night. This is sort of just a thing she does, is she just rocks up, chats up some dude, and typically, because she's a turbo babe, they'll just like go along with it. Yeah, that's about the shape I was looking for. Yeah, aw, look at how good that looks. All right, now, time to play Where's the Frame? Yep, there it is. Shit, well now I lost the model. Oh, wait, didn't? Sticking out like that. Oh. They're not. Okay, beautiful. Yep. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Whew. And then... Gosh, you know, I've been doing art like this for so long. Kind of crazy. I guess, you know, well, so long kind of implies like, I don't know, 5-10 years. I'm kind of coming up on 5, though, that being said. Look at him, mister. You know what? Let me, Let me just pause on that for a sec. I'm gonna fiddle with my phone again. Sign me in. Sign me in. All right. Uh-huh. Yes. Google Mail. Wait. Trying to sign in and it said like, you know, etc name at Google Mail. Like that's not the... That was fucking me up. Yup, that's my Google Mail. Oh my god. Failed attempts thing. You know what? You know what? I'm signed into Opera right now. So what if I sign into Firefox? Not now. Or is it still just gonna think of this as a device? Oh no, here I am. Okay, sick. All right, awesome. Firefox, you've saved me again. All right, how's the fucking stream look? Does it look good? Does it look okay? Yeah, the stream looks fine. There's my beautiful bald head. Implies like, I don't know, 5-10 years. I'm kind of coming up on 5 though, that being said. All right. Guys, all right. This is just you bitches. OBS, you son of a bitch. You keep giving me the red mark like I'm about to die. This is ridiculous. The stream looks perfectly fucking fine, asshole. It looks perfectly fucking fine. Also, I think YouTube believes that there's malware on my browser because I use Opera. Because I don't like the idea of being hacked and assaulted by malicious third parties, which is often what happens when you're on like Google Chrome and Firefox. So I use Opera. Because I'm paranoid. I'll just say that. Because I'm paranoid. I'm paranoid. Fine. Ugh.
post this on, can I post this on my threads? I guess. Since I want to keep using that threads account, I might as well. Put me on threads, baby. All right, advertise the stream a little bit. Yeah. So, great, whatever.
Back to work.
Yeah, great. Advertise the stream a little bit. Hello, welcome. Anyone that may have just joined. And if you've been lurking the whole time, welcome. I respect all lurkers. What the fuck is this? Oh, right. Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. Find where you are. Is there... Oh, look at this babe. The guy's like, oh, wait. Guess I just set this up earlier. Okay. Well. First off, let's make a layer underneath and then just set up a little background here.
The one thing they always teach you in art school, like the very first thing they teach you is make a point and then go, and then just draw around that point. Called a line of action. Or wait. I think it's called a line of perspective. I don't remember.
All I do remember was that I kick ass at it. All I remember is that I friggin' rock at it. That I'm really, really good at it. I mean, it's not really worth bragging too much about because it's pretty easy. This line of perspective or line of action, whatever it's called. Basically, it's just like you're setting up a very clear, easy to understand line that will inform you of the perspective that you want to go for. Because usually there's quite a lot of logic to what you see in daily life, especially in like construction, right? Because like think about it. If you're building a building, you want it to, you know, not fall fucking apart. And how do you do that? Well, you build it like strong, sturdy, logical, and with like really obvious lines to its design. A table is a square held up by squares, right? So that's the idea. Like right here is literally a rug that goes all the way across like that. Right there, perfect square. But it's a perfect square that shows depth as well. These lines are not here for nothing. They're here to kind of tell you, okay, from this point to that point are all these chairs. And they get small to big. So we follow the line. This is where the leg of the chair lays, is on the line. Then we go up to a certain height. That's the top of the chair. Great. These look a lot rougher than the final will be, but I just want to set up a clear enough example for me to work off later. Yeah, drawing backgrounds is, it's a lot of work, and I really get, like, super fucking burnt out on it after a while. But, that being said, I do love a nice detailed background. Like, it's the sort of thing, like, smoking cigarettes, right? Like, I'm just sitting here thinking, oh my god, so much fucking work having to get this done. And, like, oh, there's so much involved in, like, making a background. Goddamn. But, man, once it's done, oh, there's nothing else like it. It looks so good when you make a nice-looking background. And it just sits with you forever. You're just like, oh, man, remember that awesome background I made? Of course, there's also art where you just look at it and you go like, man, I could have done that way better, but this is just the best I could do for now. You know, sometimes you just gotta live with that. Sometimes that really is just the best you can do, and that's okay. The best you can give is your very best. And that sounds really cornball, but it's also just the truth, you know? I like to consider myself a professional at this point. Like, I've definitely been working professionally for a little bit of time. And I can just tell you straight up from that experience, you give the best, you get the best. I'm also just really big on shonen anime, where they tell you, you know, believe in yourself. So maybe I just internalized that advice. But you know what? It's good advice. It's better than don't believe in yourself. That's not very good advice at all. Gosh, you know what always killed me? And I think I've said this for years. In fact, I think anybody that knows me knows what I'm about to get into and how much I just hate it. But it is so infuriating when I hear dudes talk about, like, how futile it is to have hopes and dreams. I feel like that's starting to fall out of fashion as of late. But for most of my childhood, and even a decent chunk of the start of my adulthood, like when I was 18 up until like 26, I would routinely hear the dogma of like, oh, your all your dreams are either not worth pursuing or impossible, so you might as well not bother. Literally. I would literally hear that, like, most of the time from people that I, like, trusted or cared about, and it's the fucking worst. It's the worst advice in the world. Or just kind of a very defeatist mindset. Nihilistic stories have never done it for me. They're just the worst. For a lot of people, they love them. And for a lot of people, they say, like, you know, oh, this brings me out of my depression because someone, like, understands me. So, on some level, I don't want to take that away from anybody. Because it's like, yo, if it works for you, I guess it works for you. For me, it, like, works. It so doesn't work that it makes me angry. It makes me just feel like I want to rebel. Like, I want to be like, fuck you, man. I just hate it outright. All right, hold on, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes. The circle is called the Nonagon, because that is the series of gods that exist in this universe. So we have a chapel with this circle, and all the gods will be there. I can't be fucked to draw them, though, because I drew them in a different page that was way closer and more detailed. So, boogie. But yes. Yeah, when it comes to when it comes to this kind of like defeatist attitude that I have often seen in not only in like circles of friends that I knew, but also in like just media that I consumed, you often see this in like fantasy stories a lot. What was it? It was like the Sherlock Holmes thing, which, you know, thank God people are coming around and realizing Sherlock Holmes is actually kind of a shitty, or excuse me, that Sherlock, the show Sherlock, is actually kind of a shit show. I remember at the time being a naive young man on Tumblr and seeing all these clips for Sherlock and being like, wow, this show must rip. Like, people must love this show. This must be like one of the greatest things ever. I need to sit down and watch it. I never did, just because I had like other stuff I'd rather be doing. I'm glad I didn't, though, because now I'm starting to see a lot of reviews for it, and apparently it sucks. Apparently it sucks a lot. And one thing I consistently hear is that the way they portrayed Sherlock Holmes is that he's just a genius asshole. And the genius asshole trope, oh my God, it's like so just it's exhausting. It's exhausting, you know. You have you want to make a contrast, right, between the genius character that does a lot of good for people, and your first thought is, oh, let's make him a horrible person. Let's make him the biggest dick on earth. Now, I guess I do remember this sort of motif existing in some characters that I did like. For example, taking from a Sherlock Holmes, the show House, which was sort of like a medical Sherlock Holmes, although it had enough differences that it mostly stood on its own as a pretty good show. He too, Mr. House, he too was a giant asshole. The only difference, though, was that he cared. He cared a lot. It's just he had like a kind of personality that was just really like weirdly dismissive. He lived with like chronic pain, so he mostly just came off as grumpy. But he came off as a very caring person the more you watch the show. And more importantly, he would save lives. The way that they wrote Sherlock in Sherlock was that he was only really dealing with like one thing, and that was he was trying to hunt down Moriarty, which is not necessarily, that is like an arch villain of Sherlock Holmes, sure, but that certainly wasn't like the only story he ever got wrapped up in. It was just like they wanted like a big bad guy for him to fight, and it's like that's neat and everything, but I don't know what's wrong with having a serialized story about Sherlock Holmes where he, you know, solves like complicated mysteries. Probably one of the best. Like, just make it a detective show, right? Like, they had to overcomplicate it so hard because Sherlock was now modern. Like, it's like, oh, it's in the modern day, so we have to dig into all these modern day tropes of having just this long story going on. Meanwhile, there's this show from the 60s and mostly the 70s called Columbo. And that show rocks. That show is... Sorry. I like the music. That show rocks. That show's fucking amazing. And you watch it because you want to see how the crime gets solved. The whole motif of Sherlock is at the start of the show, they show you who the murderer is. It's kind of a Phoenix Wright in that way. You find out who did what. Usually it is murder, pretty much every time. And then halfway through the show, or maybe a quarter of the way through the show, Columbo will show up, and the rest of the episode is about him slowly trying to figure out who the fuck killed this person. And you get the impression that almost immediately he knows who the murderer is, but he just needs to prove it now. So he will follow this motherfucker around for like days and days, and you'll see the murderer just getting more and more angry, just being like, Columbo, can you kindly leave me alone? And Columbo is just such a happy, unassuming, gentle guy that he's just like, oh, I'm sorry, I was just looking for my glasses. Oh, what's this? Is this a nuclear bomb? Now, how did that get there? Or just finding like weird, incriminating shit. Hello, everyone. Sorry, I don't remember why I am subscribed. I won't leave the channel, though. Godspeed. Hey, what? Thank you. Your name is like slightly familiar, but we've probably never spoken before. Thank you for not unsubscribing. Thank you. Thank you for staying subscribed. I appreciate that a lot. Yeah, I mean, you may have subscribed for a lot of things. I've done a lot of work. I don't know if you're still here, but yeah. I've done a lot of like different shit. You may have subscribed for like the weird Luigi thing that got some decent views. You may have subscribed for Blind Dub, which is a project that's just kind of been here and there, like when I feel like it. You may have subscribed for my reviews a long time ago. Nice artwork. Oh, thank you. Yeah, this is... I assume you mean the other stuff, but I love how you said nice artwork, and the thing I'm zoomed in on is this pixelated nonsense. But thank you. Yes, I work very hard with my artwork. And I'm very happy with how this comic is coming along. But yeah, I'm a jack of all trades. I do a lot of different art. And so I'm sure you maybe subscribed for one of those things, and I don't blame you for not remembering which. Still, I appreciate you sticking around. Yeah, this is a comic based on a very eventful Dungeons and Dragons campaign that I did with a bunch of my friends. Just like, I've done like lots of Dungeons and Dragons stuff, so it's not remarkable to do something like that. I'm sure there's lots of people that even adapt their campaigns into comics. I feel mine's different though, because I actually picked something relevant. Like, I actually picked a campaign that was interesting, and there was a lot of like actual themes going on. There was a lot of, it actually felt like a story, right? Like every character had an arc. Every character actually went through a lot of development. They learned things, they changed, they grew closer. The world itself fascinated me. It was just like a lot of like really cool stuff. I think the number one thing though was that the party, all of us collectively as a party, we just like fit together perfectly. Something about the characters that we made for this campaign were just so fun together. I love them. And now that I'm writing them, because I don't take the session literally. I take what we did in the session and I write it myself, you know? But writing these characters, so easy. Even easier than when we talk to each other. I love it. I love it. And it's become like my obsession for the past year now. I like Columbo. Mother likes it much more than I do, though. Columbo, yeah. Columbo ended in 2003? What? You gotta be fucking kidding. What? It started in like 1969 or something. Nice, by the way. It ended in 2003. That's crazy. That's insane. Yeah, no, my brother tipped me off to Columbo. He sat my ass down and he was like, hey, watch some Columbo. And I'm like, no, it's an old thing. No, he had me like in handcuffs and everything. I'm like, no, I won't do it. I watched a whole episode and I was like, this is amazing. This is crazy. I love this. And I came to realize I really love detective shows, it would appear. It's a goblin. Okay, I'm done. Yeah, no, that is nuts. So, I wonder how he felt about the internet. I wonder if there was an episode where he talked about the internet, because Columbo has like a running joke where he is completely oblivious to modern advances. Like, either it's modern advances in technology or like new things just popping up in society that he's just like, what's this newfangled thing? I don't get that. And then someone has to explain it to him. It's adorable. And that's probably what primed some of my favorite memes, which is Columbo talking about memes. Like Columbo looking for light Yagami. Or like Columbo convincing someone that they are trans. Just the funniest shit. And I love that. All of them are by this YouTuber. The best ones are by this YouTuber called like Gianni something rather. I'm sure if you've probably seen him. He's a absolute like legend. And a wonderful voice actor too. He also did he's well known for doing a couple of Cowboy Bebop jokes as well. The exact kind of content that's right up my alley, because it just sort of kind of like blind dubs, honestly. It's just like voice acting, parody stuff. The mouth is slightly up. The mouth is. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Police, I swear to God, not simping for a child. Gosh. You know what I'd love to do, but I simply can't because of copyright? I'd love to do one of those like watch-alongs. I really like... I even know that they're popular, but I just don't know how to do it legally where I wouldn't get in horrible trouble. I do a watch along for like something that's not copyrighted, like a YouTube series or something, but yeah, if I were to sit down and watch Columbo and invite y'all to watch it with me, I would love that. I would love to commentate over some Columbo. I don't get the logistics. I don't know how I would do that without getting in trouble. Making this guy look like Nagito from Danganronpa 2. fucking crazy hair. This is the type of thing where like I sketched it without any plans on how they were actually going to look. And so now here in the editing room, I'm just sitting thinking like, okay, I drew this face. What is good hair for this face? What would you look like, mister? Actually, I think it's a girl. Whatever. Yeah, this is coming around. Coming along nicely. But yeah, I was making like an earlier point about like nihilistic writing. Basically, they're all stupid, dumb doo-doo heads, and I'm better. Oh, there you go.
Like you talk about these characters and stories. I feel your passion. By the way, the chat is kind of slow. It's like 2 minutes of lag between someone writing and you seeing. FYI. Yeah, I could reset the stream, but I've been having some like weird issues with OBS right now. It's been telling me, oh, the connection is really bad, but my bitrate is really high. So, and I've reset it like a couple of times. So, thank you. I'm not sure how to adjust the chat at this point. I could, you know what? I could reset the stream and just lower the bitrate, because that is something I did. I did up the bitrate before starting, which may be affecting things. Thank you, though. Wizerthmar? Am I close? Am I right? Wizerthmar. Wizerthmar. Ugh. Now I wait. Okay. Chat. And it's behind. Like Wizerthmar told me. So Wizerthmar will not catch that message. 2 minutes. You know, I could just like start a new stream. Turn down. My first thought was that the bitrate thing was fucking up because I had NordVPN on. I'm starting to think that wasn't the case. Man, that's some great fashion, babe. Very cool. One thing I've absolutely gotten super good at is